Welcome to the AI for Career Success podcast by Curt Robbins, where we help you get smarter than your competition. This is episode 167. I'm Fred, and joining me is Daphne.
Hello, Fred, and hello to all our listeners. Today, we're looking at an article recommended by our producer, Curt Robbins.
That's right. It's Mark Hinkle's piece, How AI Wearables Will Reshape Business, published on LinkedIn on May 16th, 2025.
And it makes a pretty bold claim. It tells us that AI is finally escaping the screen.
Moving on to our bodies.
Yeah.
And becoming a serious tool for the modern professional.
Okay, so let's unpack this a bit. Because when you say wearables, I think everyone's mind immediately goes to one thing.
Google Glass.
Exactly. The big flop that was maybe just way ahead of its time.
For sure. But the article says that was just the prologue. The issues then were all about, privacy fears and just social awkwardness.
Right. But these new AI-powered wearables are back, and they're smaller, they're smarter, and honestly a lot more subtle. And they are addressing a huge common problem.
Memory failure. Yes. We all forget names, details, context, because our brains just aren't built for that. The brain prioritizes meaning over pure memorization.
And that's the fascinating promise here. Augmented context, real-time recall. It's like having a second brain you don't even have to train.
So let's look at the specific tools that are already out there, the ones that are actually shipping and integrating right now.
The article really breaks them down into 4 key categories. The first one is all about visual AI assistance and content capture.
And the big one here has to be the Meta Ray-Ban smart glasses.
Oh, absolutely. They really nailed the form factor. They just look like a normal pair of Ray-Bans.
Which gets around that whole social awkwardness thing. But inside, they integrate Meta AI, so you get hands-free translation, visual recognition.
So you could look at a menu in another language and it just translates it for you.
Exactly. Or document something with a photo or video, all just with your voice. The relevance for, say, field roles is pretty obvious. A data center technician, retail staff.
Anyone who needs their hands free and could use some visual support. The article does note, though, that their enterprise readiness is medium at best.
Right, because they're consumer-focused. It's all tied into WhatsApp and Messenger.
Not Slack, not Teams, not your company's CRM. It lacks those native enterprise tie-ins. For now.
Okay, so moving to the second category, this one is about memory augmentation and transcription.
And a great example here is a device called the Bee Pioneer. It's a lightweight little thing, almost like a wristwatch or a pendant.
And its whole job is persistent audio capture and creating searchable text summaries.
I mean, think about that. It's perfect for executives, product managers, anyone in a customer-facing role who needs to remember every verbal detail without constantly stopping to take notes.
But the privacy alarm bells are going off in my head immediately.
And that's the clever part. The article explains that it gets around that by not storing the raw audio. It processes the recording, creates the text summary, and then the original audio file is deleted.
Oh, that's a huge distinction. That's something IT and legal could actually work with.
It is, but its enterprise readiness is still ranked as low to medium. Companies will need to build some really strong guardrails around it.
Which I guess brings us perfectly to category 3, enterprise collaboration and follow-up.
And this is where we see the limitless pendant. This device was basically built for the enterprise from day one.
It actually evolved from a desktop memory tool, right?
It did, but now it's a wearable that joins your meetings, it records, it summarizes, and then it generates context-aware replies or next steps. It can actually generate actions.
I think its biggest strength is that focus. It knows exactly what it's for. The article mentions it has things like beam-forming mics to isolate speakers.
And a consent mode, which is critical. Everyone knows they're being recorded. Its readiness for enterprise is high because it already integrates with Slack, Notion, and Google Workspace.
Okay, that makes sense. So finally, we have category 4. This one's a bit more niche.
Very niche, but very powerful. Communication and presentation confidence. We're talking about the Even Reality's G1 glasses.
And these are basically an AI-assisted teleprompter.
That's it. It just reflects scrolling text right below your eyeline. So for presenters, trainers, executives, anyone who needs to stay on message while maintaining eye contact.
It's a huge confidence booster. You're giving that big internal presentation or a webinar, and you don't have to look down at your notes once.
The value for those media-facing roles is just undeniable. So its enterprise readiness is probably medium just because it's so specialized.
Let's take a brief break for a special message from our producer, Curt Robbins.
Hi, this is Curt Robbins. First, thanks for listening. I truly appreciate your support. I want to let you know that I'm currently accepting new clients. My rates are affordable, and I have more than 25 years of experience working for enterprise companies like Microsoft, Northrop Grumman, Oracle, PNC Bank, FedEx, USAA, and Wells Fargo, among many others. If you want to improve your IT documentation and communications, hire me. I deliver fast, know how to use AI to improve efficiency and accuracy, and love going the extra mile to satisfy my clients. Thank you for subscribing and listening. Back to you, Daphne and Fred.
Welcome back to the AI for Career Success podcast.
So before the break, we were focused mostly on, white-collar office jobs. But this is where the article gets really interesting. It suggests the biggest transformation might not be in the office at all.
It might be in the skilled trades.
Exactly. Think about it. A field technician doesn't need a fancy dashboard. They need instant, reliable answers while their hands are full.
And AI wearables are perfect for that. I mean, an HVAC tech could access schematics and diagnostic steps without touching a paper manual.
Or an auto mechanic could pull up repair procedures, torque specs, right there while they're under the car. That's a huge upgrade from the old Chilton manuals.
You can see it for electricians, warehouse staff, first responders, referencing safety protocols or site data without stopping what you're doing.
But here's the catch. If these tools stop being gadgets and become essential infrastructure,
Then you have to look in the enterprise risk, the dependency you're creating.
and the article points to a huge one, geopolitical and supply chain risks.
Most of this hardware is assembled overseas, heavily reliant on Asian markets. That introduces a ton of vulnerability.
And it's not just a hypothetical risk. The article specifically brings up U.S. import duties, like Section 301 tariffs on Chinese electronics.
Which can add, what, up to 25% to the cost of a device?
At least, so suddenly your procurement choice isn't just about the tech, it's a geopolitical bet on trade stability.
So procurement teams have to start treating these wearables like they're choosing a cloud provider, not buying a gadget.
They have to push the vendors for answers. Where is this assembled? Is it subject to tariffs? Where is my data being processed?
And maybe the most important question, what's our exit strategy if our supplier gets sanctioned or just goes out of business?
If you can't answer those questions, you're taking on a massive risk.
So what does this all mean for the professional? The future of productivity isn't in your pocket anymore. It's clipped to your collar or built into your glasses.
It gives you a continuity and a context that the human brain just can't match on its own.
The strategic bet here seems clear. These devices will absolutely change how you work.
But they introduce real risk. Smart teams need to pilot them fast, but evaluate them deeply. You have to build the policies before these tools become mainstream dependencies you can't live without.
Absolutely. That's a great takeaway.
The takeaway for you is that these devices change the game, but you need to be smart about how you play it.
Thank you for listening to the AI for Career Success podcast from Curt Robbins, where we help you get smarter than your competition. Remember to like, subscribe, comment, and share. We'll see you next time.